Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to another guest expert interview. Today, we've got the amazing Heather Lee Chapman, and I'm going to bring her on in just a minute. I just wanted to kind of share with you guys what we do every Monday is that we invite other experts, other entrepreneurs to come and share their experience in starting or growing their business, how they create transformation in their clients, how they make a difference in the world. And we bring that to you in hopes that getting different expertise or inputs from other expertise is really going to help you align with what you're doing, and also encourage you and learn from what we're talking about to really building a strong foundation for your business. So I'm super excited for our guest today, with Heather, and I'm going to bring her on right now. Hey, Heather.
Hi, Sarah.
Welcome. Great to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here with you and all your guests to share my knowledge and passion and energy.
Absolutely. Heather, just do a quick intro of yourself and what you do.
Absolutely. So I am a self and business mastery coach, and I have a full holistic approach where we help get to the root cause of what's not working in your life and in your business, because it actually comes down to belief systems and so much more, working with the physical and the metaphysical. So I help conscious entrepreneurs increase their performance, their awareness, their impact, and their profits so they can actually live happy and fulfilled. And I truly believe we are all here for joyful expansion. And we can only do so when we live our purpose. And so for some of us, it takes a little bit of time to discover what that purpose is. But once we can discover that, when we can turn around and share our gifts with the world, I truly believe we can have full ascension.
That is awesome. Tell us a little bit about the holistic approach. How is that different from other approaches?
Absolutely. So I've actually been an entrepreneur for over a decade. And I started out and I've been studying human potential and performance for over 16 years. And I started out as a registered kinesiologist. And why did I start that way was because I had a bunch of health issues my entire life. And I'd seen all the specialists, top doctors in Toronto, done all the things. And I wasn't willing to accept the quality of life I was told I was going to have. So I started studying at an alternative nutrition school, and then also started studying advanced spiritual practices, and truly started to understand that we have to work with the mind, body, soul, and spirit. And if we miss one of those pillars, then we really can't have that full optimal performance or full ascension, because we are a spiritual being having a physical experience. So we must connect with spirit and the metaphysics, because we know that we only operate in the physical, which is only 0.4%. There's so much more in the universe that we have access to. And then we actually have to treat our body like a whole. So what do we eat? How do we move? Doing breath work, doing mindfulness, meditating. And then our soul, we came here with a purpose, a mission, a calling, some might even call it. And if we don't answer that knocking, that calling, there seems to be a repetition, a pattern that shows up for you of trauma, chaos, until you actually answer that calling and follow through on it. So I help people find what that calling is so they can get out of their trauma loops and actually start moving forward in their lives. And then in order to truly live to our full potential, our vehicle that we're operating in, we want to have it functioning fully. So that's our body. So that requires fitness, sleep, healthy foods, good environments, positive people to be around, living in possibility, and then actually understanding how our operating system works. So we have belief systems that we gain when we are children. And unless we choose to change them or understanding how human conditioning works, most of us are walking around like our 7-year-old selves on autopilot. 90% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions are based off your belief systems, which were solidified by the age of 21 unless you know how to change them. And that belief system is our realm of reality. So we can't have anything in our realm of reality that's not in our awareness. So you actually have to change the belief systems, change your operating systems, and truly start to create the new and best version of you to have something different. And I had tried all the things, all right? I had been an entrepreneur for a long time, and it wasn't until I started treating myself like a whole, fully mind, body, soul, and spirit that I start to have quantum leaps and breakthroughs in my results, in my health, in my relationships, in my business, in all areas, in finances, in time freedom, and in financial freedom. And I love how Abraham Hicks says our mission here is a joyful expansion. And if we aren't answering our
Mm.
calling, we're in a constant trauma loop. And if we don't change the belief systems, we're in a constant trauma loop based off of old traumas that we just keep attracting more experiences to validate them, because we can't grow bigger than those belief systems, our environment. So we really need to get to the root cause in the belief system. In the health, it's often, most people treat symptoms. We actually have to get to the root cause. Is it the gut? Is it the adrenals? Is it the hormones? And in the body, disease starts in the mind first. So again, we have to go back
Mm-hmm.
to the root cause of the belief system. And then when you are actually looking at spirit, we have to start meditating,
Mm-hmm.
believing in something bigger than ourselves. Somehow,
Exactly.
somehow in the new age, talking about God or something bigger than yourself, people started calling you a quack, which is interesting. And as I said, we only operate in 0.4 of the 0.4% of the universe is the physical realm we operate in. So there's obviously much more that we don't know. And that really truly requires
Yeah.
us to believe in something bigger than ourselves. And that's what we do in theta healing, and in working with like NLP and quantum physics. We have to believe in something bigger than ourselves. And when we do that, we can get out of our own way, I truly believe. And that helps us get to the root cause on the personal side.
And when you look at just human creation alone, you should know that there is a higher being that is just totally outside of us. We are not human made and we cannot be. So there has to be a higher existence. It's just so hard to just deny that.
It's hard for some people to believe in something you can't see. So I can understand that. And as you say, like, look at the world, look at the human
Just
body,
look
look at
at it.
nature. It's all
Yeah.
operating and functioning and is magical. And there's so much more that we just don't know. We don't know. And truly
Yeah.
believing in that higher power can help us access our higher power.
Yes, yes. And there was one thing that you have mentioned that I wanted to go back to. You said that with the limiting beliefs, we only have access to with only what is within our realm. Is that what you were saying?
Yes. So we have, think of it like a filing cabinet, and it's
Mm-hmm.
actually in your entire body. So it's throughout your neurology. So that spans your entire body. So when a lot of people say it's in your unconscious mind, which it is, but that's in your neurology. So it's not just part of your brain, it's through your entire body. It has memory cells. So we have, just imagine it's like a filing cabinet in each one of those cells, and it says money goes through this filter,
Mm-hmm.
relationships goes through this filter, and all of that's based off our previous experiences. And so that's why my grandmother speaks a different language and has an accent, and I don't, because we grew up in different environments. But when we
Yep.
start to understand the belief system and metaphysics a little more, we actually understand our belief systems go back up to 8 lifetimes ago and 8 generations ago.
Mm.
So when you get into timeline therapy to heal those limiting beliefs and to heal the negative emotions, they're not often yours. They were a past family members. And so often when we
Oh,
even think we've identified the trauma, that's not it. That's the symptom of that limiting belief that
mhm.
experience that occurred before. So I'm just did my first NLP designation, which has you go through NLP, timeline therapy, and hypnotherapy. And it really, really opened up a whole new world. And this is what the elites know. This is what all government officials, all police officers, CIA agents, CSIS, which is the Canadian CIA, they all have this training. This used to be
Interesting.
only for the 1%. And now, as we start to understand and teach it to many, many more people, and many more people are being certified, I think we'll start to see people will believe in that higher power, something greater than ourselves. And we know that energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transferred. And there is a morphogenic field that we are all attached to.
Interesting. So you're saying those, I guess, limiting beliefs are passed down like genetically
Yep, they
from
could be
previous
ours, or they could
generations?
be family members, or they could be past lives.
Interesting. We always thought that that is something that we grew up with or we were associated with. So it could go beyond even our existence. That
Hmm.
is incredible. I never knew that. That's incredible. The other question I have for you, Heather, for those who do not know what kinesiology is, can you talk a little bit about how you use kinesiology and what you do?
Yeah, that's actually funny because it is a funny word.
Yes,
And
it is. Not very popular or like known more than an everyday basis.
yeah, so kinesiology is the study of the movement of the body. And so
Mhm.
I did my undergrad in human kinetics, minored in biology and psychology. And in human kinetics, I chose to study on, you could do business, sports business, or more with movement science. So I did the movement science, and in that we take human potential and performance classes, perceptual motor development, neural learning classes, and we start to understand how the body works. And we
Mm.
also started to study the unconscious mind and human conditioning and behavior. So we started to see, one of the most interesting things I was still remembering class was learning about a girl who was able to develop even though she was missing half of her brain. And we used to think neurology was just solid, like this is who you are. It can't be changed. If you have an injury, you can't heal. But we know that's not true. And so I'm going back to like 2008 when I learned this study. So we know that we can improve, we can change, we can heal. We are a new human being for every cell of us every 7 years, every single one of our cells. So
Mhm.
there is so much more that we don't know. And so in human kinetics, I chose to take that and specialize in injury rehabilitation because I had been an athlete my whole life. And so I had injuries that I was looking to heal. And even post kinesiology, I did an advanced study in motor learning and control for it's called Z Health Education. So it's perceptual motor learning development, visual, vestibular, proprioceptive. And so it's actually how to heal pain and improve performance via working with the brain. Our body has a max threat load. So it's taking in all this information. You have a reticular activation system that is telling it your body to pay attention or to dismiss or to store. And
Mhm.
that reticular activation system can only tell you to pay attention to where you're already paying attention to. And so we miss tons of opportunities and tons of things in
Yes.
life. So I always challenge everyone to go do the awareness test. So go onto YouTube and search basketball awareness test. And we did this in a class of about 100 students. And everybody was counting these basketball passes. So you have a team that's in white shirts and a team in black shirts, and you're told to count the passes. And so at
Mhm.
the end, everyone's yelling out, this many passes happened. And then the professor's like, yes, but did you see the human being in a bear costume moonwalking through the basketball game? And
Ah,
not one person does, because your brain goes, oh, I'm paying attention to the basketball
the
pass.
basket. Yeah.
So I had no need to pay attention to the bear. So your brain actually goes, not important.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
where else in our life are we missing things because of our operating systems and our point of attention and awareness?
That's incredible. What are the key things that you had to work on, especially, to improve your health and wellness? Because that was one of the challenges that you had. I'd love to share that because I have my own challenges. I was struck with autoimmune disease and it has a lot of physical repercussions. So, I'd love to really create awareness of, what we need to focus on to have that mental and physical wellness while we're building our businesses, because oftentimes we really put everything about us on the wayside and we just focus on building our business.
So I love that you say that because that's exactly why I do what I do. And that's exactly why my program
Absolutely.
is a self and business mastery program. Because I was coaching all these entrepreneurs who, were in their 40s and 50s, who had waited to that point when their health was now on the back burner and crashing. And it's a glass ball that we can't put down for too long or it breaks.
You can add me to that stats.
Okay. And so we don't want to wait to get there. And so I started as an entrepreneur so young. So I was hitting that burnout stage over and
Mhm.
over and over again in my early 20s. And so I thought this can't be this can't be forever and this can't be the norm. This can't be everybody. And then it seemed to be a repeating pattern. Entrepreneurs put themselves last,
Yep.
which actually doesn't work because if you can't work, neither can your business.
Exactly. That's what we forget.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be 100% for your business to be working.
Exactly. And so to look at ourselves fully like a whole, we always think threat load. Think your body has a maximum threat load. So, how much work are you doing? How much travel time do you have? How much computer time do you have? How much daily movement? Mindful movement. So, it could be a simple walk, it could be dancing, it could be skipping, it could be going to the gym, whatever brings your heart joy, yoga, Pilates, and then a whole food diet. So obviously the movement is essential for a few reasons. One, our heart is a muscle and we have to keep exercising it to keep pumping the
Mm.
blood and all your nutrients, oxygen comes through the blood. But when we also move, we also are moving energies, stagnant energies,
Yeah.
blockages. So if you're ever feeling stuck, don't try and go work harder, go move. Right? Go get the energy moving, go play your favorite song, go for a walk, hug a tree, have a dance party, get the energies moving. Then you need a whole food diet. And I truly believe, there's no point of being like so rigid that it's more stressful for you to be quote unquote healthy. I believe,
Mhm.
the 80-20%, 80-20 rule, 80% of the time, most of the time, do what's in the best interest. And that is a whole food diet.
And then cheat 20% of the time.
Yeah. So yesterday I ordered in. It was Sunday fun day with my niece, but I'd already been at the gym for 3 hours. I ate healthy all week. I did a cleanse. And so if we want to have a little splurge, it's one meal in a week and it's something fun. And we actually know that it's more important about what you think when you eat the food. And so this study came out in
Mm.
2011. I believe, yeah, 2011, that they were able to prove that if you ate an apple in a stressful environment, your body has immunoglobulin cells, which have memory cells. And when you then eat that apple next, your body goes, ooh, stress. So it chunks things together.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you're always eating driving down the 401 in Toronto, which was me, then when you eat food, your body chunks it with a stress response.
Yes. Okay.
And then your stomach empties quicker and then it doesn't digest, ends up with putrefaction in the gut. And then we end up with gut issues. And if your gut's unhealthy, then your brain's unhealthy because your gut is the quote unquote second brain, but 70% of your nutrients are absorbed in the gut.
Absorbed, yeah.
So that also is why the whole food diet is really important, because if we're always eating out and we're always eating processed foods and we're always eating, high white sugar, then we're constantly feeding bad bacteria and we're going to be malnutritioned and then we can't be high functioning. And then that's when the immune system drops. That's when things can come in. I say, you didn't catch anything from somebody. Your immune system was low enough for you to receive something.
Mm.
So it's actually up to us to, and same, I've had the same issue as yourself. And so that's why my health is always my top priority because I can't let the ball drop.
Yeah.
There's major repercussions. For some people, they can really drop it for a while. But for someone like us, if you really can't let it drop because there's major repercussions on energy, on mood, on inflammation in the body, on pain
Everything.
management, fatigue. There's just all the things that come along. So if we want to think, mindfulness, so we've got to meditate, we've got to sit in silence. I just don't think we sit in silence. We're either addicted to productivity, we got to be doing, or we're socializing or with somebody. I love
Social
Steve
media.
Jobs. Yes, right?
Or
And
social media.
exactly. Just you don't have to
Yeah.
be on your phone on Facebook or Instagram for an hour. Just go for a walk with nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Steve Jobs would go for a walk a day for an hour, no phone, because that is your time to think, process and generate new ideas. You have to give yourself time to process everything you're going through. You want to reevaluate everything, but you also need to generate new ideas, and you can't connect the spirit if your mind is always busy. And so you can't generate those new billion-dollar ideas if you aren't allowing yourself to open up to what's possible. So
It's interesting you would say this. We had our Q2 planning with our coach today. I don't
yes,
know if
yeah,
you caught it.
yeah,
And the one thing they talked about is having 2 45-minute thinking sessions every week,
yeah.
just thinking. That is, I mean, I've never heard of that before. So it's like, whoa, that's a great idea.
It's actually a principle from Think and Grow Rich. So Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich. He spent his lifetime studying the 500 richest, most successful people in the world and
Yes.
25,000 people who failed. And he came up with the 13 principles of success. And one of them is the mastermind principle, where you would meet with other people and it's like a think tank. But then the second is the idea generation. So he would spend 45 minutes every single day
Mm.
generating ideas. And his goal was, in that 45 minutes every day, you would generate ideas and you would ask, how can I increase my service? How can I increase my revenue? And always says, take the problem outside of yourself. So often if we're like, oh, I've got this problem, instead, Bob Proctor would say, write it on a piece of paper, put the piece of paper on the table. The problem is not within us, it's without of us. So put it on the table, walk around it. And then we actually, if we want to, in the best form of coaching, if we want to solve anything, it's through questions. So that's when you would ask the right questions. How can I solve this problem? How can
Mm.
I bring in that revenue? How can I generate those clients? And you would write down the questions, and then you would generate all those ideas. And so Napoleon Hill would do 45 minutes every day, hopefully coming up with 25 ideas. And he would say, one of those ideas will be your $1 million idea. And that was in like 1937. So let's say $1 billion now.
Right. And the funny thing is, I listened to Think and Grow Rich multiple times. I'm like literally studying it, but I must have just skipped over that part because I don't remember it at all. I
There's a
probably will remember more part of it, but that part I don't remember at all.
So there's like a Bob Proctor was trained by someone who's trained by someone, and we got the whole
Right.
cycle there, right? So in between,
There's like iterations of it from Napoleon Hill to all the way to Bob Proctor.
so there's a really great 45-minute audio on YouTube by Earl Nightingale, and it's the review of Think and Grow Rich. And in that,
Oh,
which I've
okay.
studied that many, many, many times, and that he is where he talks about the 45 minutes of idea generation.
I will definitely look it up as soon as we finish
I
this.
will find it too, and I'll send it back to you, and then I will re-listen, because I truly believe every time we study it again, we're at a different awareness, and we just get something totally different.
Not only that, it's like, did I miss this last time? There's
Yeah,
always something new. That's why I'm like, I'm repeatedly listening to it and like studying it, because every time I listen to it, I'm learning something new.
it's amazing.
Yeah. So, and I think our brain also, blanks out every once in a while, because as you're listening, maybe you're going somewhere
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
you miss that part. And the next time you catch it, you're like, how did I miss this?
yeah,
That is
yeah.
that is incredible. Oh my goodness. Well, Heather, what are some of the, I guess, the pitfalls that you want to kind of talk about that entrepreneurs fall into? Something that you want to share from your personal experience.
So the biggest thing is our self-concept. And so this is why I do self
Mhm.
and business mastery, because we have a concept of self in that unconscious programming, and we can't grow bigger than it. And that is our model of the world. And unless say I want to be a billionaire and a multi-billionaire, but I don't have a family member, a female in my realm of reality that is an example of that model of the world.
Mhm.
And so I can't really grow into it. My concept will keep pulling me back. And so I love how Bob Proctor explains it. It's like an airplane. It's on off course 90% of the time, but at the end of it, it always ends at the destination. And the destination is the self-concept. And so in the book Psycho-Cybernetics, he explains this. It's our psycho operating system. And
Mhm.
this operating system will keep pulling you back through the reticular activation system, through the belief system, all of these things that we operate from, it keeps pulling us back to our same results. So I was working 18-hour days. I was volunteering. I had 3 contracts. I had 3 businesses. I was healing from concussions, from a spinal injury. I couldn't work harder. I had no more time to trade. And I was hitting every glass ceiling. And every time I would almost break it, it would be chaos. Why? Because my concept said, no, you can't have a 6 or 7 figure business because you're here. Your concept, no female in your family has ever had a successful 6 or 7 figure business. They were mostly homemakers. So, that's your concept of a female is this. And so your realm of reality will just keep pulling you back. So we have to start working with that metaphysical. So you don't see your self-concept. It's not like, hey, here, I'm here. So this is something that if you're coming up against a wall over and over again, those are the belief systems and that self-concept. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to work harder. You actually just need to get to the root cause. And so I encourage everyone to write a self-concept of you with your goal achieved. We call it your big, hairy, audacious goal, your life purpose. At the end of the day, what do you want everything to look like and who are you being? And I learned this from Bob, and you write a self-image script. And so actually when I came on here with you, I was listening to mine. And so we listen to it twice a day, normally in the morning and in the evening, right before you go to bed and right after you wake up.
You record it?
Yes. And I record it with sonic healing music in the background to help access your theta brainwaves, which puts you in a relaxed state, which helps access your unconscious mind to more easily rewrite that current self-concept.
Okay, you said sonic tuning?
Any theta healing, any relaxing music so I do a Hertz 741. It's everything has a frequency. We're on a frequency. Through frequency, we can be here on StreamYard right now. And so that frequency, the theta brainwave is on, is where we can access that unconscious programming, but it's not as active when we're adults, a lot more when we're younger. In order to access it, we really need to get into that relaxed state, which is quite slightly between awake and asleep. And so when we can put that music on and lie down and listen to our self-image script with that music, it really helps. And so I do encourage everyone to do that. And we do it over and over again until we reach it.
Everyone, this is your assignment. I actually wrote mine and I keep falling off the track because I would forget to have my notebook when I go to bed. So this is such a great idea because we have our phones with us all the time.
Yes, always.
It's easy. You wake up, you listen right before you go to bed, you listen, and that's really relaxing. And this makes sense why a lot of people talk about either meditation or quiet time is because it really puts you in that state. And that's when you really reach our brain capacity where we actually create things. Right?
Yeah, you can hit different brain waves.
Exactly.
And also connect to, spirit, God, source, creator of all that is, however you want to refer to it. We need to get into that state to be able to access it.
No distraction.
Yeah,
absolutely. My goodness, Heather, this has been incredible. We're going to need to reconnect again because there's so much to talk about. There's absolutely so much to talk about, but it was just such a pleasure to have you and just listening to what you had to share. And it created an incredible awareness for myself. And I'm hoping that it did that for our community here as well. I'd love for you to share where people can reach you, because I'm sure there will be a lot of people that want to connect with you.
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This is the magic sauce, treating yourself like a whole, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that is when we can reach our full potential and actually live happy and fulfilled. That's the biggest thing, happy and fulfilled. It's the fulfillment part. We're always searching for more. So if we understand our operating systems show up in our habits, habits. And so what I have for you guys today is a free habit tracker. It's a customizable habit tracker with the fundamentals on it for personal and professional development, and you can customize it for yourself. And as Robert Kiyosaki says, everything we track improves. So you can go to ownitempire.com. All the information about myself, my programs, and our free Business Bliss events that we run, it's all there. But please go and grab that free habit tracker. It's right there in the top banner, ownitempire.com, and you can book a free strategy call with me. But once you grab that habit tracker, I promise it's going to change your results, because a lot of us, we actually underestimate how much we do in a day. When you track it, you're actually going to pause and go, wow, I'm pretty great. I do a lot. And then you'll also get to see the patterns of the things you're avoiding, where often most growth is there for you. And then you can actually start to give yourselves a pat on the back for all the great things that you actually do every day. And we can start to have that balanced lifestyle of mind, body, soul, and spirit, and our four main stages in our business, so that we can actually start to move the needle forward and create quantum leaps instead of small steps and incremental gains.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. I will go ahead and put the link in the caption and in the comment of this video so everybody has access to it. Well, thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate you. Sit back. I'll be right back. Well, everyone, I don't know about you guys. I completely enjoyed our time with Heather. I actually learned so much from her. So I'm actually going to go back and pick her brain, because it's just been an incredible session. She's just a wealth of knowledge. So I highly encourage you to get, what she had just offered you, the habit tracker, download it, get connected with her. Most of us entrepreneurs, we continue to provide value, whether it is through email or through our Facebook communities, where we provide these, these type of interviews and interactions, as well as free trainings. And we want to do that because we really, really want to provide value. We really want to serve. And honestly, growth comes from being, having like a serving mindset. And we just want to make sure that you guys really take that to heart and implement it, because there's no point for us to pour our heart if it's not really valuable, if it's not really being implemented. So I highly encourage you to download the habit tracker, utilize it. If you need to listen to this interview again, do it. Listen to the videos and the audios that she has mentioned. We do this for a reason. We really want to make an impact, and we appreciate it if you guys take action on that end as well. That way our effort is fruitful. All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you guys on another guest expert interview next Monday. Until then, have an awesome week.